All right, welcome to Module 5 of 8. You are in the home stretch. Okay, this week there's no discussion, and that might be helpful because you have a quiz, but also you have a pretty big assignment. You have a collection of sources assignment. Please use the template and make sure you check out the guidelines and rubric because it lays out exactly how to do this assignment. Also, in the Module 5 resources, you have a guide, a link to a guide of how to cite your sources in APA style. You have a link to a guide that tells you the differences between primary and secondary sources. Remember, secondary sources give background, they give context, they explain what happened. And so you're called on to use the SIFT method to evaluate whether your sources are credible, whether they're good, or even if they have a bias, you're at least identifying that bias. Just because something is biased, but I've got news for you. Absolutely everything is biased. Everything. No matter how impartial somebody tries to be, we have preferences. They're so ingrained in us, we may not even be aware of them, but everything is biased. So understanding where's the author coming from. So for example, this is Democracy in America. It was written by Alexis de Tocqueville, sorry, tongue twister. And he was a French nobleman who came to our country. He wanted to understand this American experiment of government. And so he spent 9 months here seeing how it was put into practice. And I've used this book so much I've worn the front cover off. So this book here was published in 2003 by Penguin Books, but the introduction says that since the 1950s, so if I'm evaluating the credibility, since the 1950s, this book has been a towering presence in American life. Every president since Dwight D. Eisenhower, who was inaugurated in 1953, has quoted Democracy in America. So that shows that it's credible. And so that's what you're doing with each of your sources. You're going to have 5 secondary sources for the assignment. It's certainly not expected that you read them all, but it is expected that you do a little research. Who wrote it? Why did they write it? What's their purpose? Are they trying to tell a particular side of the story? Who published it? Was there an organization behind the publishing of it? That helps you understand more about it. And then also, how is the source relevant to your historic event that you've chosen for your project? You're going to use the SIFT method, and that's where you stop and reflect. You investigate the source, the author, the publisher. You find supporting evidence. So if I'm going to try to find supporting evidence for Democracy in America, I'm going to look up, has every president quoted Democracy in America? I'm going to look that up. I'm going to find supporting evidence. In this information age with the internet, it's very easy to find supporting evidence. Then you're going to trace the claims that your source makes. Are they valid? Do you think they're accurate? Is there proof of the claims the source makes? That's what you're examining in this week. All right, so no discussion this week. You just have a quiz and then your assignment. Remember, the assignment is secondary sources. Secondary sources. They were written after your event, like often substantially after your event. Please reach out to me if you have any questions. Please make sure you use the template and have a great week.